What's good, fellas? So we're back for another first impressions video, and again, another new brand and new addition to the collection. In this video, we're going to be talking about one of the more slept on fragrances in the fragrance community, one that has gotten a lot of buzz, and really truly I credit Chaos Fragrances for mentioning this fragrance a whole lot, right? This is one of his top rated summer warm weather affordable fragrances. So we're going to do our first impressions, our blind smell. I finally got this one in. The fragrance of the day, fellas, is going to be Varvatos Artisan Blue. Now, Varvatos Artisan Blue, when I think about why I got my hands on this fragrance, one is summertime. This is known as a summer fragrance, and I live in a warm weather city, and this is said to be a warm weather fragrance. That is different than your typical run-of-the-mill blue fragrances, so your Sauvage and your Dylan Blue. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. We're going to get through our blind smell reactions, our smell test, and we're going to see just whether this one is relevant, who this one's for, and whether this one's another dub we added to the collection. Now, guys, obviously, when I was looking at some of the background and the notes for this fragrance, first off, this fragrance is said to be a fresh, aromatic, woody, green, fresh, spicy fragrance with a little bit of lavender notes in it. So I definitely see this being on our more vibrant side of the fresh spectrum. Now, this has quite a bit of fragrance notes. I actually had to look at my notes and kind of refer back to them whenever I was thinking about this. We're gonna get some bergamot, we're gonna get basil, orange, we're gonna get pine, geranium, we're gonna get some woodsy notes. So I imagine a really wide array and broad spectrum of fragrance notes. So this one's going to be really interesting to see what we pick up on all three levels, okay? But as always, guys, let's get through our unwrapping and we'll get into the review. And whenever I unwrap the fragrance, I can already smell a little bit of bitter orange just off the box, and I haven't even sprayed it yet. So that's really interesting to take as far as notes that we're going to pick up on. We unbox it. Ooh. One thing I really love this blue, like blue is my favorite color, and I love this version of blue when you look at it. So guys, just on that alone, I like the bottle presentation. Definitely it's a more simplistic kind of viewing presentation, which I kind of like, but it definitely is giving kind of masculine, classy, simplistic from my eyes. And it's already, I can already smell a little bit of fragrance just off of it. Definitely picking up on some woody pine notes, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and we'll get this one caps, and we'll go through our initial smell test, see what we pick up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice wide spraying atomizer. Really nice, clean, and smooth citruses off the opening, right? Definitely picking up on that bergamot. You're picking up on the bitter orange too. I definitely am picking up on that. I'm smelling that. This one does give me semblances like, hold on, we're gonna hold off on that, but this definitely does remind me of some of the more summery, kind of fresh and clean but masculine fragrances that I have in my collection. So as far as familiarity, one, the scent DNA is familiar, which is not always a bad thing. That also says that this is tried and tested and proven. As it's settling down though, you're definitely picking up on that basil, so that green, herbal, and you're also picking up some of the lavender. So off the initial smell test, definitely good, definitely clean, not overly synthetic, nice, fresh, crisp, leaning fragrance with a little bit of an aromatic touch to it. So 1 for 1. Now we'll get into the scent test. We have the scent strip right here. We're gonna get it, and this one's gonna be a really interesting breakdown. 2, 3, 4. All right. While we let this settle down, I'm thinking about the fragrances that this one kind of reminds me of. Like, it's almost like Blue Noir by Narciso Rodriguez, a little bit more green, a little bit more spicy, more woody, versus Blue Noir is a little bit more fresh out the shower. Maybe the EDT instead of the EDP, right? This one is not, it doesn't have musk as one of the main notes, but it does give that musky masculine feel. This one's giving a little bit more mature, in my opinion. So I'm saying a guy in his 30s going to 40. I think this one's for you guys. I think a guy who's 28, like my age and under, this one could be a little too simplistic, maybe a little too masculine, a little too mature, a little too old smelling, right? But this one to me is for the guy who likes a nice, fresh, clean, fresh at the shower, but wants something that doesn't smell like maybe your shower gel is like a Legend Spirit by Mont Blanc, or maybe not overly citrusy heavy like a Mont Blanc Explorer. I think someone who really is kind of more on that Silver Mountain Water DNA with a little bit more green in it. But nonetheless, got the scent strip, so let's see what we're picking up off once it settles down in the mid. Okay. One, I like the fragrance, especially when it settles down. So this one I'm going to be really excited to go out and test and kind of try this one out in the masses. see, when you get to the mid, for me, it smells a little bit soapier, right? You're picking up on that geranium, you're picking up on the iris and that clary sage and that orange blossom once you get to the mid. So again, a more fresh, spicy opening. You get a little bit of bergamot, so a little bit citruses, but this one is really more leaning into that herbal green nature and the aromatic nature that you would get with this one, honestly. For a summery fragrance too, for something that you maybe want a little bit more vibrant, I would imagine this would be a fragrance for you. And it's really affordable. I think I got this one for $28 on Joma Shop was what I went for it for. So for that to be this quality of fragrance so far, really happy about it. The sillage is not the strongest, so I think this one's gonna be a little bit more subtle, but subtle works for a lot of people, and not everybody wants the loudest fragrance as far as the daily driver especially. All right, now it's time, we're gonna go through our skin test, 2, 3, and we're gonna see what we get off the skin. Yeah, again, every time I spray, you're getting more and more, it's feeling more green, more soapy. That soapy, once it settles down in the mid, is really what you're picking up on. That I think was the thing that really kind of sparked my eyes. Definitely, this one has a role and it's going to be in my rotation, especially for the summertime, summer days. This one I think could pull off as a really good gym fragrance. The bottle's big, but I mean, you definitely could pull this one off as your gym safe fragrance, you know, as your office fragrance, you know, especially during the summertime if you're going out to the pool. I think this one is good. Not the beach. The beach is maybe a little bit saltier, but the pool definitely, I think this one could be, and it just dawned on me. This one smells a little bit like Mont Blanc Explorer Blue made a little bit more green. That's the fragrance that when I'm thinking about it. I'm like, there's something else that as I'm settling it down. Yeah. Nice, fresh, clean, soapy, right? So a little bit soapier with the iris and the geranium than a Explorer Blue, but more green than a Blue Noir or a Silver Mountain Water or a Supremacy in Heaven. These are all fragrances that I kind of know about summertime and mention. Definitely way less citrusy than any type of Yves Saint Laurent Y DNA as well. So again, the archetype of the type of person, the type of male that is going to be wearing this, you want fresh, clean, out the shower, soapy, with not so much musk, not overly citrusy, not overly woody, but more so green, herbal, slightly floral is who this is for, okay? And this is gonna be for a guy, definitely, I would say 30 plus is kind of the archetype for this guy. Wear and setting, this is gonna be your daily driver, work, pool, maybe even gym fragrance. Yeah, gym fragrance for sure. Gym fragrance for sure, guys. But one more time off this. Man. The more I smell this one as it settles down, the more I like it. This is more an intimate, close encounter fragrance, right? This is gonna be one when you shake hands with someone or maybe give them a nice hug, right? It's like, oh, okay, this guy smells fresh, clean, put together, you know. It's not gonna be the loudest, so the projection isn't the strongest, but it has really good staying power on the skin, and I think the sillage in the skin and kind of the stain and kind of the scent you get once it's settled down is really where this one is gonna be worth the money for you guys. So nonetheless, another dub. I really like this one as a summer fragrance, definitely. Chaos recommending this a whole lot. Bowtie Fragrance guy mentioned this one a whole lot. Triple B mentions this one a whole lot. So I mean, definitely a popular one amongst many people. Now, for those of us who want something overly, you know, complicated, may not be the best fragrance for you, but definitely this one has a role in you guys' rotation, especially those of us who live in warm weather cities. But as always, that'll do it for today, guys. First impressions of John Varvatos Artisan Blue. Great first addition to the collection. Let me know what John Varvatos fragrances you guys would recommend. What have I not gotten on that you're like, hey, you need to try this one, TFM, and I'll get it done for you. Definitely one of the more affordable brands out on the market you can get your hands on too. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys for listening to it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe and the follow button to get notified anytime I drop any new fragrance content. You can also join the memberships tab and get access to exclusive perks, exclusive content. As always, appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Catch you on the next one. Much love.